Hello everybody, I'm Andy Pruitt, Director of Communications and Technology with Charleston County School District, and I'm here at St. John's High School with the principal, Steve Larson. Steve, thanks for having us out here.
Thank you.
Wanted to just take this opportunity to discuss some of the things that are happening here at St. John's, opportunity to talk to the community about what's happening here at St. John's, provide some updates when it comes to the opportunities and the accomplishments, recent accomplishments that have happened here at St. John's. First of all, you've been the principal here for a little over a year and a half. So what, first of all, has impressed you the most about the St. John's High School community?
That's just one of the easiest questions out here. I think on day one, I would have given the same answer as I give today. The kids and the families out here are so unique. They're a community in every sense of the word. They care about their kids. They show up. They support when I need them to, and you're instantly part of their community when you join, when you come here. The kids at this school are respectful. We have a safe environment. We're working on things like academic achievement and things that every other high school works on. But what's most striking is how we treat each other at this school.
So maybe that feeds into this next question. I know that's one of the things you've been very intentional about, strengthening the feeder pattern here at District 9, working with the elementary schools, Angel Oak, Mount Zion, Edith L. Frierson, as well as the middle school, Hot Gap. How has that been going, and what are some of the things that you've done to make sure that that does happen, that strengthening the feeder pattern?
So growth is really important for our school. We've been under 300 students for years. The last 2 years, I'm proud to say that our enrollment is up from what we projected. So today we're at 324, holding pretty strong. And why that's important is it not only does it bring resources to the school, but it also helps us build energy. We're a school that is growing. We're a community that's growing, and we can be at the center of that if we're intentional with how we talk about our school, with what we talk about regarding our school, and what we celebrate as a community.
Speaking of celebrations, you mentioned the honor roll students here going out into the schools. Can you kind of describe that a little bit?
So this year we decided to be really intentional with our students that are hitting the mark academically. Students who have all B's and higher are on our honor roll, and we've got 4 different cohorts of honor rolls. So we'll have, with each quarter, a different group. Be the same kids, but hopefully that group will grow as the year goes on. Now these kids, they've done everything that we need them to do academically. Their behavior is on point. So we've made it into a team. These are our academic ambassadors. So they have a special t-shirt that they have. Each month they have a community service responsibility. And then we give them catered lunches and take them on fun trips and really treat them right because they've done a great job. Specifically, this quarter's academic ambassadors have gone to all of our elementary schools to be reading buddies. We've even gone out to Lamb's Elementary School just to get our name out there. And our students love it, the younger students love it. And our intention is to build this energy around be a future Islander. Come be an Islander.
Another unique program that I learned about recently was the Student Ambassador program that Sam Duncan started here. They're in their first semester. Can you describe a little bit about that initiative when it comes to bilingual students here working with students at Angel Oak?
So this is a story 100% about teacher leadership. We have students who are English language learners, but they're also really strong in English. So sometimes we would assume that when they come to us that we just have to teach them English. Well, they can do a whole lot with their native language. And in fact, recognizing the native language as an asset in our community really catapults our students' academic achievement. This teacher, Sam Duncan, who's our Spanish teacher, but well more than that, decided that he was going to find a group of students who were academically where we want them to be, but have that benefit of being bilingual, and sending them down to the elementary school to help out with translations, with instruction, just being a great role model and presence in the elementary school. And he found a way for us to give him credit for it. So it's a win-win for everybody, the students and both schools. And I'm just I'm so proud. Every day I see these kids going down to Angel Oak, and I think, what a great opportunity for them to feel meaningful as a high school student.
So there's some major strides that are happening here with you and your staff, but there's a lot of work to be done, and that includes the work that comes from being placed on the State Department of Education's Comprehensive and Support Improvement Schools. Can you explain a little bit about that designation and why the school is there and what kind of support you will receive moving forward?
Right. So we watch our data pretty closely, and so we knew that our graduation rate wasn't going to get us to, it wasn't acceptable. It wasn't going to be acceptable, and so being on this list is not a comfortable place. I don't ever want to be on this list, but it is. We already knew that we have a graduation rate issue. Now, with a school like ours, it's so low. The cohort of students that graduate each year gets smaller as the 4 years go. Graduation rates are determined on whether or not kids stay with you for all 4 years, and of course they have to maintain the right amount of credit in order to graduate on time. So, with our students who stay with us all 4 years, they graduate. Like we're really solid on that. But we lose these kids along the way. Either they move to a different state and we don't know where they are and we have to track them down, or they just drop out. And for us, it's completely unacceptable to drop out of high school. So our work has been over the last year and a half is let's find these kids, let's get them engaged in a program that will meet their needs so we can get them back on the path. I can tell you right now that we're poised to have a little bit better of a graduation rate. We had less dropouts in this cohort of students. But as we get more mature in our intervention, our dropout intervention, and start to incorporate different ideas about how to keep kids in school when they start as freshmen, that rate's going to go up. I'm pretty confident about that.
So Steve, some of the internships and apprenticeships that are being offered here, I would imagine would address that concern.
Right. So we began to shift our thinking a little bit about how we interact with students all day long. The traditional model that we've designed in public education years and years and years ago, it doesn't work for everybody. And so we began thinking, how can we get our kids in real work scenarios that makes what they do in the school, in the classroom, more relevant. Plus, it starts to open doors, create relationships with adults that they've never known before. So our initiative around apprenticeships, internships, externships, even a job shadow is really centered to our dropout prevention program. We want kids to know that what you're doing here is going to create readiness. It's going to give you the context to be successful in real life, and we want you at some point to make money while you're doing it. So we can get you credit. And then if the internship works out, you may get a job. So that's really a key strategy for us. It's on our strategic plan, but over the next couple of years, I'd like to see that every junior and senior in our school is actively engaged in an internship.
It's also important that you work with the community that's around you, and you guys really have some strong community partners. One that stands out to me is Kiowa Cares. And most recently, their work with Ernst & Young, an international accounting firm, to secure funding for textbooks for dual credit courses with Trident Tech. How can you kind of go into detail about how that came about and how that benefits your students?
Right. This last year, we became very focused on getting as many kids as possible into college credit with Trident, and that's a program that's working very well. All students have to do is take the AccuPlacer. It'll tell them what courses that they can be eligible for, and we get them in those courses. Sometimes it's online here on site, but we also have teachers from Trident Tech coming to our school as guest teachers working in our classrooms. And that's just a win-win for our students. They build a college transcript, which increases the likelihood that they'll go to college. And we take off some of those financial responsibilities of college. We take care of it right here. And if we do it right, it's at no cost to the students. Now, we do need funding for textbooks. That's a continuous challenge for us. Sometimes it costs as much as the class itself. But we're working with partners to see if we can increase that support. For the most part, our dual credit classes are really popular with our junior and senior students, and we're even getting some freshmen and sophomores that are asking about it.
Well, and that kind of ties me to the last question, your last topic, is that there are opportunities here, and you have people that you can point to that show here is what's possible here at St. John's. We did a story last year highlighting the Zepke siblings,
Right.
John and Zuri, and John going to Princeton as your valedictorian, Zuri is sister, finishing third in your class, going to the College of Charleston. So maybe just on that point, they symbolize what's possible here at St. John's,
Yeah,
correct?
they sure do. And we just saw Zuri a couple weeks ago, and she says that they're both doing wonderfully. You know, we in a high school like this is so small. We have the that empty nest feeling when our kids move on. We're like, but then we get new freshmen, and we're okay again. But we miss the Zepkes and their peers. That was a very special class, and I think it shows an example of what's possible if you focus. You access the resources that are here. We have free tutoring after school every day. We have teachers that do the tutoring, and then they go off and coach into the evening. They're here all the time. We have an AVID course for every student that's about 50 minutes long. Every day they get the support they need from a designated teacher to get caught up in their classes. And this stuff works. We just need to make sure that our students lean into it and take advantage of the resources that we have here.
Well, Steve, again, really appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to do this interview, and hopefully everybody watching appreciates what this guy is doing here, what the staff is doing here, and what the students are accomplishing here at St. John's. Principal Larson,
Thank you so
good
much.
to talk to you, and thanks for watching.